So I'm back in reality again. Yep, just started, and I'm to this day. I mean, I know it's already been a couple of days, right? And that I've been really feeling bummed out about not having to continue this 3 week break, and after all that hard work that I've put in, as far as like being able to just lessen the stress load, make everything as stable as it can be, you know, and at home, and as well as everything else in my outside life. After all the hard work that I put in, like, just to only see the fact that I celebrated, what it appears to be my really, really, like, you can argue this is like the biggest break I would ever have of this entire year, bigger than my 2.5 week big break. This is 3 weeks, or you can say 3.5, since I already had asked off for the 15th and 16th, where I'll be the man of the house again, right? So, you know, technically that would have been 3.5 weeks instead of 3 weeks. So that's even bigger than what I had just the past month. Now, the only difference with the 2.5 week big break was just when I thought that break was going to cut short. Instead, it turns out it was still going, right? So good for me. I'm still able to get my other plans through. In the case of this one, shocker, as devastating as it is for me to hear what I've heard, I have to accept what it is. So I learned. I've come to a lesson learned that there may not be any kind of breaks like this. No matter what, if you want to say a month break or a 3 week break, to where I can do what I want and being able to do what I can do in my own pace and all that. I can guarantee you it's not going to happen that way. So it's just a lesson learned for me, that I know after what happened here, which, much to all of us, it was a shock, that it may just only end up being 1 or 1.5. You know what I'm saying? So after all the hard work that I put in, and just the fact that I even celebrated the fact that I was going to finally invest in this whole 3 week big break. The fact that it was Kobe Bryant Day, it was a good one, right? And I know how it is in my job and what I've been feeling, but for the most part, I've been very competitive in my job hunting. So you can tell I've really, really, really invested myself into this whole 3 week break, because I just wanted to get somewhere at this point to where I just don't want to be stuck with what I'm having to deal with anymore. You know what I'm saying? I gotta really start thinking about, at this point, as much as I've been on the record, which I know it's not really going to happen as of this time, is getting my own permanent space. And of course, in order for me to do that, I have to do it. And even my therapist has even agreed to that. It's only going to take a new job for me to really make that happen. Because once again, my 1775 is going to get me nowhere, financially, for me to get what I want. Gaining that permanent space, because everywhere out there, with the exception of maybe Pomona and some other city, possibly any other city out there in California, is pretty damn expensive. Even if you're just trying to rent or you have a lease for like a year or so. You know what I'm saying? Mari's been in that carousel, to where after she left NorCal, she spent about maybe like, how many years did she spend in Texas? She went in 2017 all the way through, was it 2023, I think? So that's about 6 years. And after that was 1 year in Georgia. And then after that, she's in Florida currently. So I haven't heard her say that she wants to move out. So I think right now she stayed put, and everything's working out in Florida. I guess she's got some relatives over there from what she told me. So funny enough that she already experienced one of the, if not, I think she experienced a couple of hurricane disasters over there already since she moved. I think when she moved in, what was it, just last year? I think there was already one of the hurricanes I remember that happened in the Tampa area. I think there was about a few tornadoes around the area or something like that. And for her, it didn't really affect her too much. It's just she experienced some really heavy rain. So for the most part, she was all good. But ever since she got into Florida, which is like last year, she experienced, well, I mean, there was already a couple of hurricane disasters already happened over there since she moved. What was it, like in August or something? So, but for the most part, right now she's doing well, and I know that we have not talked for it's probably about 3 weeks now. So, I just let her have her peace, man. It's at this point, I'm not really trying to worry too much. I know I miss her, but she's just doing her own thing right now. You know what I'm saying? She's in Florida and I'm in Cali, and I'm sure she'll come around. So, anyways, just getting back to this topic, it's reality again for me, no question. How much longer am I gonna put up with this? The next weekend, not this coming weekend, but the next weekend, I will have another opportunity where I'll only have 4 days, but that's not enough of a stretch for me to get what I need done. Obviously, I'll be the man in the house again. So, I mean, it also depends on another situation to where, that what one of my parents usually has to deal with. She's actually relieved of that right now. So, I don't know how long that's gonna be, to the point, like I was able to get away with that's why I was able to get away with doing breakfast only with Prince Albert and Eugene earlier this morning, because because I didn't have to deal with that while I was pretty much the only human being in the house. Unlike the last several times that I was in the house, when I had to deal with another one of my family members with a struggling condition. So right now I'm pretty much the only human being that's dealt with, at least for almost a couple of days, to myself. And hopefully by the next by the next weekend, that I'll be able to have that same opportunity as well. Then I'll be able to go out like I did. Which is why I'm able to keep my historic last day of the month streak alive, which is great. Lucky me. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to have an opportunity like that again, but we'll see. So we'll just see what happens. But for the most part, I don't even know. Like, I'm not about to sit here and wish for another opportunity, like where this next big, quote unquote, big break is about to happen. Because I'm not about to sit here and just wish for another one like that. I already said it many times. I need to do what I need to do. I need to earn my permanent space. I need to earn a new job that's gonna get me to eventually getting my permanent space. But of course, I've been really competitive with my job hunting, especially as of this week. And today I already applied to 7, all earlier in the afternoon. So I gotta keep doing what I'm doing, dude. Because no matter how much more I can be hoping and wishing for these quote unquote big breaks to happen again, they're never gonna be as long as I thought they would be. Hell, if I saw this, if I saw this 3-week big break continue in the second and third week, I would have been able to do what I need to do, right? And as far as with my parents here, like, they would have been able to do what they need to do and get my help for some of the projects that we need to finish, you know what I'm saying? But that's not the case. And unfortunately, again, that 3-week break had to be cut unexpectedly. Real shocker. even I got really bummed out that it was going to end like this. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna take at this point. Just knowing that I'm gonna have to just sit and just deal with the same stuff, and especially with them having to deal with I don't know if you want to call it new responsibility this at this point, but the responsibility that they've been dealing with is just basically is why I'm having to do some of their duties, and which is really hard for me to just go out so often like I used to. I told you it's not the case anymore, and home life is changing, outside life is changing, right? So it's getting to a point for me. I know September is just coming. The end of August is right around the corner now. September's coming. It's back to school. It's pretty much in full bloom, and we all know the sports season will eventually kick in. You think about the NFL season is starting this Thursday, so at least we can see some good stuff happening, because like I said, my dad and my sister are really big on watching some of the NFL games, as far as the teams that they watch, So, look, as for me, again, it's always going to be like this. No matter how much I can continue to wish for any more of these quote unquote big breaks, I'll never know if I'm going to have 2.5 weeks or even just like an official 3 weeks. I mean, it's after what I just heard yesterday, I just learned that it's not going to be the case. I mean, I don't think I'll ever have a break like this, which is why I need to earn one myself. And I'm talking about gaining my own permanent space. And I'm talking about my own space, my own peace, my own happiness to do whatever I want for good. And when that happens, I assure you, my life is already going to be that much better, especially when I already have a new job.